Spain has a bad relationship with its past, Pedro Almodóvar said during a recent visit to Los Angeles. Spanish people don't like to be told about the darkest parts of their history. Beloved internationally for his exuberant melodramas, often laden with sizzling eroticism, Almodóvar has consistently transgressed conventions of gender and religious dogma without overt political statements, especially not about the Franco regime of his early years. The choice to avoid dealing with that period head-on in his work was deliberate. But his latest dramatic confection, Parallel Mothers, which is now playing in limited release following a world premiere at the Venice Film Festival, explicitly honors the thousands of victims of the late 1930s Spanish Civil War and its aftermath, in which the murderous dictator seized power. Ensue. Oscar winner Penélope Cruz, Almodóvar's longtime muse, stars as Janis, a photographer who befriends a younger woman, Anna, a fresh-faced Milena Smit, when they both give birth to their respective daughters in the same hospital. As entanglements of the heart ensue, Janis also tries to orchestrate the exhumation of mass graves, horrific byproduct of the armed conflict, in her family's rural hometown. Throughout the dictatorship and for many years after, Almodóvar recalls, people in Spain buried their memories of the atrocities over concerns about retaliation for speaking out. My father went to war when he was 18. He wasn't a Republican, but they took him to fight. At home, he never said a single word about the war, he said. Most families had a pathological fear that something could happen to their children or grandchildren. Cruz, speaking over video call, shared that her family never learned exactly what happened to one of her great-grandfathers, yet, as it was customary, they didn't much dare pry. There are so many mysteries about that topic in many families. There are many people who still don't know what happened, she said. If you ask your grandmother about your grandfather or a great-grandfather and she says, I don't know what happened, you can't push much further for information because it's a very delicate and traumatic subject. By the same token, Spanish cinema at large has been reluctant to engage with that tenebrous period. Of the few titles that exist, Almodóvar considers the two by Victor Erize, The Spirit of the Beehive, 1973, and ensue, 1984, the most notable to date.